Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Ready to have some fun with Stagg Jr Batch 17. Yes, I said it. Stagg Jr Batch 17. Seems like it was not too long ago we just reviewed Stagg Jr Batch 16, which honestly just came out not too long ago as well. So I reviewed this one not too long ago. Like every other Stagg Jr, always a hit, was phenomenal. But happy to see that Stagg Jr Batch 17 came out. The funny part is that this one, Stagg Jr Batch 17, came out honestly like on the quiet tip. There wasn't a lot of hype about it. There wasn't a lot of like ooh ahs and so forth. It was very much Stagg Jr Batch 17's out. Batch 16 got all the love because it took a long time for Buffalo Trace to release Stagg Jr Batch 16 or the first release for 2021. It took a long time, so this one just came out a few months later, and actually technically just was released about 3 weeks ago. So Batch 17 is here. Let's do the Cliff Notes version of just Stagg Jr as a whole. So of course it's a Buffalo Trace sub product. Always uncut, always unfiltered. No exact age statement, but it's known to be anywhere like in that 8 to 9 year range. And again, Stagg Jr, of course, is like the little brother of the big boy from the antique collection, George T. Stagg. From a MSRP standpoint, so what are we talking about, Bourbon Judge? It's typically like a $60 to $65 bottle. Can't lie, I paid $80 for it. If you find Stagg Jr, more than likely you're probably going to find it above that MSRP mark. Again, I found this for about $80. I remember finding it in the store for $80 and I was like, yes! Like I won something, which is kind of funny, right? But it is true though, when you find a great uncut, unfiltered bourbon, sometimes you typically have to pay a little bit more. In this case, I paid $15 more than MSRP, so $80, not that bad, right? And then last thing I'll say about this one here, this one comes in at 128.7 proof. So Batch 17 is 128.7 proof. Now, before we dive into Batch 17, and I have Batch 16 up here as well because I'm going to do at the end a very quick little comparison just to see if there's any similarities or differences. But before we dive into Batch 17, whoo, hot off the presses, folks. Oh man, we have breaking news. Going forward, this is the last release from Stagg Jr, from Buffalo Trace, that will actually have the words Junior next to it. Yes, I know it's tough. Stagg Jr is dropping the Junior, or Buffalo Trace, I should say, is dropping the Junior. So what's changing, Bourbon Judge? Honestly, other than the label, nothing. It's still going to say Stagg. It's just not going to have the little Junior here. Everything else is the same. Same bottle shape. The juice inside is the same. The age, always going to be uncut, unfiltered. That age statement, again, always like in the 8 to 9 year range. All of that is the same. They are literally just dropping the Junior. Buffalo Trace, I guess what they're saying is that because this is Batch 17, when Batch 18 comes out in 2022, again, we'll no longer have the Junior there. It's kind of playing off of the whole thing of, whenever something turns 18, or let's just call it for when we turn 18, you can vote, you can join the military. So you basically, you grew up, you're an adult, you're no longer a junior. So they're kind of playing off of that. I will say, Buffalo Trace should honestly, they should have marketing lessons because they are fantastic marketers, straight up fantastic marketers. So that is that. And then last thing I'll say, because they are dropping the Junior, again, the name will just stay as just Stagg. This bottle here, George T. Stagg from the antique collection, that staying the same. No changes at all with George T. Stagg from the antique collection. All right, I am ready to dive into Batch 17. Let's rock and roll. Let me pour a little bit of this bad boy. So you guys know me, whenever I get a new bottle, I always crack it, pour like an ounce or two of my Infinity bottle, just to give it a chance to air out a little bit. I poured a little bit more than I wanted to in this one, but that's okay. Hey, as they say, shit happens. Oh man. All right, so again, this one's 128.7 proof. I'm interested to see how good is this one, especially for the fact that, George T. Stagg did not come out this year. So hopefully this is pretty darn good. We shall see. All right. Ooh, I like the nose on this one a lot. Wow, okay, so The nose is not as robust as traditional Stagg Jr. It's a bit more, almost kind of toned down a little bit here. So in the nose, I get a ton of like your traditional caramel, brown sugar. Wow, interesting. Caramel, brown sugar, even like some toffee, some notes of cherry in there as well. But the unique thing about this one is that I get a ton more, which I normally don't get a lot in traditional Stagg Juniors. I get a little bit, not a ton, I get a little bit of almost like a licorice in there, like a black licorice kind of in the nose also. That is quite interesting and unique. But it's not as like, it's not like super bold though in the nose. It's just very nice and just kind of well-rounded as a whole in the nose. The nose is actually quite lovely, I can't lie. Oh man. Hey, real quick, I need 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. I love going back and forth. It's one of my favorite things, honestly. And then last but not least, please make sure you also hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification as well. All right, everybody. Cheers to everyone out there. Wow. Woo! That is straight up amazing. A nice, powerful, and robust mouth in the palate. A long finish. Everything from the nose transfers to the palate. That, even though it's bold and robust, is also extremely well-rounded. It didn't have, what's unique about it though, is that it didn't have the traditional Stagg Jr. like knock you out kick, if you will. In many ways, this honestly sips probably very similar to like the George T. Stagg. In many ways, it really does. I'm actually just gonna put that one down there. It sips closer to a George T. Stagg. Woo! That's pretty damn good. And there's a little bit left in that glass. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. I'm sorry. Wow. Folks, it's hard for Stagg Juniors to be a letdown. And that is definitely not a letdown. That is absolutely amazing. That might actually be one of my favorite batches from Stagg Jr. over the last, let's call it 3 to 4, maybe even going back to batch 13, batch 12. I don't know. That's pretty damn good. In my book, that is a buy. All right. I can't wait to see how it compares to batch 16. So batch 16 over here, 130.9 proof. So just a little bit higher, not too much, right? I'll just like two proof points higher. Pour just a little bit. All right, let's just see. Let me get into this nose real quick. I'll see. Even the nose in this one, much more like deeper notes of like caramel, brown sugar, just kind of like jumping out of the glass almost at you in a way. Very nice. All right, but the best part is the palate, right? Let's go ahead and dive into that. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Woo! All right. Let me get a little bit more, just to make sure. Just to make sure. Hold on. Wow. That is your traditional Stagg Jr. Knock you out. Very bold, very robust in the palate, the nose, and the palate as well. So how do they compare? How do they contrast? Like similarities and differences. Similarities, obviously very similar in the nose. The key difference, though, is the palate. This is much more edgy, more bold, and much more hot. I find batch 17 is way more well-rounded. It honestly sips much closer to George T. Stagg. Both are great. I'll say this, though. If you prefer the traditional Stagg Jr. where it's boldy, edgy, and hot, batch 16 is probably better in your opinion, if you prefer that. If you like something that's a bit more refined and more well-rounded, and honestly, in my opinion, sips way closer to George T. Stagg, batch 17 is absolutely amazing. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, like I say each and every week, peace, cheers, salute. I appreciate everyone out there. Later. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Peace out.